Hello everyone and welcome to our presentation considering the leadership in Costa Rica. My name is Cassie Wood and my partner is Savannah McCoy. We have really enjoyed getting to know more about Costa Rica and the very unique leadership there, and we hope you will too. Here is Savannah to start us off.
Let's start off with the geographics of Costa Rica. Here we see 3 different maps showing us different perspectives of Costa Rica. In the image to the far left, we can see that in relation to us, Costa Rica is south of the United States. In the middle, we take a little closer image, and we can see immediately surrounding Costa Rica is Panama and Nicaragua. Costa Rica is also surrounded on 2 sides by different oceans, the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. On our far right, we have a super close-up view where we can see Costa Rica's 7 provinces, and they are San Jose, Heredia, Alajuela, Cartago, Puerto Guanacaste, and Limon. The language primarily spoken in Costa Rica is Spanish. Now, Cassie is going to dive into Costa Rica's leadership for us. Go ahead, Cassie.
Costa Rica's leadership is very unique and more progressive in certain ways than even the United States. Costa Rica is a democratic republic that focuses on the welfare of all citizens. This leads to a great sense of well-being for the citizens and has been found to increase productivity. In 1848, the President of Costa Rica abolished the military, and Costa Rica has been committed to peace ever since. Today in Costa Rica resides the University for Peace, founded by the United Nations as an institution of higher education. It is dedicated to the study of peace, conflict resolution, and prevention. The progressive leadership in Costa Rica is leading the world in clean energy, with 80% of all electricity coming from clean hydropower. The country's far-sighted environmental practices have led to over a third of the country being protected as natural reserves. Costa Rica provides free health care and education, which has raised the life expectancy rate to higher than the U.S. Costa Rica has a very progressive president currently, with President Alvarado, who is only 38, appointing ministers from a wide range of parties. This may lead to a far greater rate of cooperation than our own United States system. In 2019, Costa Rica was awarded the UN's Champion of the Earth Award, the very highest environmental honor, for its protection of nature and the commitment to combating climate change. This small Central American country is truly leading the way for the world in progressive leadership. Now Savannah will give us some info on the cultural values of politics and business.
When doing business with Costa Ricans, it's important to remember a few things. In general life, Costa Ricans don't put a whole lot of value on being punctual and getting things done in a certain time, and that translates into their business as well. Their deadlines are very fluid. That can be very frustrating because in America, we're not used to that. We're used to very solid deadlines. So when working with them, it would be very important to keep that in mind. They also tend to consult the group, whereas we consult the highest ranking member to make decisions. They'll consult the stakeholders. That way everyone has a voice. When doing business with them, they put high value on a personal relationship prior to sitting down for a business meeting. So if you're looking to do business with Costa Ricans, it can be very important to take that time to build a personal relationship first. They believe in being courteous at all times, despite social class. You'll never want to undermine anyone in public. That can be very disrespectful. And appearance does matter. You'll want to book that high-class hotel and err on the side of overdressing, then you can adapt from there. The politics in Costa Rica are very similar to what we have in America in the sense that they follow a presidential system. They elect a president, and then the president elects their vice presidents, and their terms are 4 years. They're mainly a democratic country, and they are free and independent of any other country or governments. Now, Cassie's going to go into how their culture and their values influence their leadership styles. Go ahead, Cassie.
The culture of Costa Rica has great influence on the leadership styles of the country. Equality of all people is a very important belief, and this brings less distance between rich and poor, or blue-collar and white-collar workers. Family reigns as the most important value of Costa Ricans, so loyalty, relationship, and networking are essential in leadership. Mothers are sacred, and respect for family is imperative to having good business relationships. Women are well accepted in business and leadership, and half of the country's university students are female. Structure and rules are very important, as well as following those rules. And as such, dealing with any permit or license in Costa Rica can be very time-consuming. Contradicting this need for structure is the very flexible timekeeping for ticos. The people of Costa Rica are often late and very laid back. One interesting cultural belief is small talk. It is considered impolite to rush into business or to be very direct. Formal titles are important, as is professional dress in leadership. Most of Costa Rica's population is placed in middle class. 98% of Costa Ricans are mestizos, also known as white people, while only 2% are indigenous, also known as black people. Costa Rica is a giant melting pot of races due to the trade routes and location of the country. While income is relatively low, it is higher than the other Latin American countries. Now Savannah will tell us about the language and history of Costa Rica.
Before Christopher Columbus, Costa Ricans were hunters and gatherers. Then, September 18th of 1502, Columbus landed on the east coast of Costa Rica. He incorporated their territory into New Spain in 1524, and that lasted about 300 years. Mexico decided to rebel, and Costa Rica and the rest of South America followed suit until they gained full independence in 1821. They struggled due to their lack of connections from suppliers. They established a democratic government in 1869 and elected their first president in 1906. Today, their economy relies on ecotourism and technology to survive. Poverty has declined dramatically in Costa Rica, but that doesn't mean they don't still have struggles they have to fight against, such as underemployment and lack of trade. They speak primarily Spanish, and we can see many other things that remain in Costa Rica stemming from the influence from Spain for so many years. They have a nickname of Tico because they commonly replace Tito with Tico for endings of words.
Costa Rica has the ultimate goal of being totally carbon neutral. They are highly invested in clean power such as hydropower and solar power, and they are leading the world in environmental policy. These 3 videos show how Costa Rica plans to go totally carbon neutral, how their economy is heavily dependent upon ecotourism, and how the very unique environmental leadership of Costa Rica is making them world famous. So please enjoy these videos that show some of the leadership choices in Costa Rica. Carbon neutral, also called carbon neutrality, is a term used to describe the action of countries, organizations, businesses, and individuals who are trying to remove as much carbon dioxide from the atmosphere as each one puts into it. The overall goal is to achieve a zero carbon footprint. The most polluting countries in the world at this time are China, the United States, India, Russia, and Japan. To have this small country leading the way to carbon neutrality, one hopes that the United States can learn more from this leadership and try much harder here.
The history, religion, and geographical culture of Costa Rica plays a big part of the leadership style of this country. A large percentage of Costa Ricans are Catholic, so it wouldn't be polite to discuss gay marriage, abortion, or premarital sex in public. Costa Ricans depend on ecotourism, so they are very polite and welcoming to tourists. They have always welcomed visitors historically, as they are the center of trade routes and cultures in Central America. The children are taught a we attitude very early on, and this leads to a team leadership attitude. Equality is highly valued in Costa Rica, as is humane social support. The most favored leaders are inspirational, charismatic, and compassionate. Core leadership values come from this historical, welcoming, humane, social, and loyal people who are very family-oriented. 2 of the most famous leadership quotes in Costa Rica are, "It's all about the people," and "We are like family." So, Cassie, with all that being said, would you like to be a leader in Costa Rica?
Would I like to be a leader in Costa Rica? Yes, I would love to be a leader in Costa Rica. To be part of a country that leads the world in environmental management and ecotourism would be a dream come true. To lead in a country that is a democratic republic with national medicine and education, and who are so successfully adding to the lifespan of citizens while working towards a carbon zero future using water and solar for electricity would surely be a great place to live and lead. I am so impressed with the current president's choice to add a person from each political party to his cabinet, and I can see that as being a way to really stop the fighting between parties and get down to the leadership and success of the country. I've never heard of a president adding a person from all parties to his cabinet, and I think we could all take a page from this book to put the citizens first and lead with integrity and compassion. I think I have learned so much from the leadership style of the Ticos. The innovative approach to healthcare, education, environmental policy, and tourism is very inspirational. I really look back to the family-style leadership in Costa Rica, where they truly believe that we are all family.
Would I like to be a leader in Costa Rica? Absolutely. Costa Rica is very forward-thinking and selfless, whether it's their initiatives with the environment or how they're doing business. They are always considering people and all that they do. We've heard a very common theme throughout this presentation, and that's how much value Costa Ricans put on their people, no matter what social class they belong to. That's something that I'm really going to aspire to be like as a leader, because the ability to see everyone for who they are and treat everyone the same instills trust and respect in you as a leader.
Our leadership style conclusion is that Costa Rica definitely operates on a team leadership theory. We and family are the most prevalent leadership attitude in Costa Rica. The president of Costa Rica even has appointed to his cabinet members of all political parties. Team is surely in play here. Effective team leadership promotes success to all. The entire country is highly involved in both ecotourism and environmental actions. Team leadership outcomes equal more productivity and greater use of resources. This speaks to the goals of Costa Rica in the environment, their use of hydropower, ecotourism, free healthcare, and education. Equality is a big concern in Costa Rica as well, and they definitely lead with a team mentality. Our conclusion is that one theory of leadership style in Costa Rica is the team leadership. Here is our works cited page, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation on the leadership of Costa Rica. I know that creating this presentation has really made us think about having the courage to be a unique leader with innovative policies.